Please hop in a little closer, folks. High five. High five. Yeah, it's just sunflower seeds. Wonderful! Welcome to Nighton, folks. My name is Tia and I'll be one of your guides. What happens a lot is that as soon as they've sown their precious seeds, these guys hit the dinner bell. And you can only imagine how much the farmer is going to appreciate a sight of 400 of these birds landing. So the story doesn't always end nicely for these guys, but having said that, they make absolutely amazing.
You'll find out if you're not there.
Kyla, she's our grandma here.
It's Buster. It's Buster, isn't it? It's me not looking at each other. I'm pretty sure it's Buster. Oh. Look at his face and look.
This little guy there. Whoa, that's sparse.
Hey, you.
Buster.
No, it's Charlie. Forrest, what's wrong? Forrest, what's wrong?
Hang on, too tight for us.
I don't know.
I get so confused. I've already been here for 2 months and I'm like, no.
So they've actually got 2 sons and 3 daughters.
Hey, let's just keep hanging on to it.
You need to colour it,
Pardon?
sparkly colours, you know.
Yeah.
Normally I can tell them, if I've seen all of them, I can tell them apart. Gadget Forrest, he's a rescue one. So he's actually a victim of a car accident. So he's actually deemed with special needs. He does actually have brain injuries. So for that reason, he could never be released back into the wild. But he's still perfectly healthy, beautiful temperament. Yeah, and he'll be one of our breeding boys. And he'll be the rest of his life he's still working by us. The car and perfectly healthy other ones, so he became boo with that too.
How many are there in this?
We estimate between 30,000 and 100,000. 30,000 of those believed to be sterile due to communal cultures. And that is right across the whole geographical range, which is right up here in Tablelands, in Southern Queensland, and Herbs and Toll region, all the way down to South Australia. So there's actually not a lot of koalas when you think of the geographical range. In that geographical range, there's also 3 different subspecies. So up here in Queensland, compared to up north, where here it's more like the lilies, pandanus and tropical plants. So there's greater food for them, so that's right, bigger, more food.
Thank you. We're going to take it now.
Oh, now what? I can't remember where, so I don't know the
That's right, I was going to do it.
Sorry, I was just basically, you saying before, are these koalas chlamydia that's been hit amongst down south?
Oh, definitely. Chlamydia for koalas is actually a natural koala disease. So, and they can be carried in their entire life and never have any problems. The problem occurs competition with other koalas, people like Carl, road accidents. Do you remember the one after Black Saturday's bushfire?
Yeah.
That koala, he actually ended up dying from chlamydia. Yeah, because it was a stressful event. But yes, I mean, he had to use chlamydia that he had. But, and so that's severe stress. And chlamydia, once it affects them, starts doing it's organ failure, blindness, sterility, and eventually death. So any that come in from an accident that actually test positive for chlamydia, automatic state. And I'll stay here because we can treat chlamydia, but if you release them back to the wild and they get stressed, it's going to flare up again. And obviously it's a slow, painful death if they die. He's only about 6.5 kilos. So this would be very waterproof. Very much so, yeah. So it's waterproof, the insulation. It also helps keep them cool as well. Which I know some guys will use it both, but it also helps keep them cool, regulate the body temperature. No, Willow's the same with our girls. You could just turn and get face right there. You're in the whole class? Are you signed up the whole class? Hi.
Yes.
Do you want Forest then?
こっちが一番いいショック。
play with him.
You want to bring him down?
で、さっきのコアラの背中見てみました。
Go with that one.
Where you going, babe? What are you doing?
Where's that tree?
I want a hug.
That's definitely busted, that one.
That is definitely you're way too early.
Keep it safe.
Then January 1st is when you're probably going to get back on the diet.
That's the New Year's resolution. Lose 50 pounds. Yes, Lisa.
The predator won't eat him, but these guys aren't actually toxic in any way. They're just pretending. Now they are viviparous, which means that they have live young. Okay, some protein to give them a good head start, because when they're born, they're ready to go. They can scuttle off, start eating on basic foods like no, you shouldn't. Okay, can anybody guess what Marvin here is? Besides Oh, somebody's a bit greedy tonight. Okay, Marvin here is a patty melon, so he is part of the macropod family, meaning big feet. So they're your wallabies and your kangaroos as well. But to tell the difference between patty melons and wallabies, not only their size, Marvin here is pretty much full grown. But you can also tell this red coloration, and he's a red-legged patty melon. So he's got this beautiful red coat with a beautiful creamy underside. And then he's also got his tail. Now his tail's more like a rat's teeth thing. And once that joey is born, the female can actually mate again after 2 to 12 hours. Wow. His strength to get big and strong to be able to jump out, he's going to need a high-fat, low-protein milk. They're able to do this simultaneously. Sooty owl. So there is a population down in New South Wales called the sooty owl, but this guy is a lesser sooty owl. And you will only find them up here in the wet tropics of Queensland. So they're endemic to this region up in the rainforests. Okay, and because of this, they are becoming endangered due to habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, also they can be black eyes. And these help him to see at night time when he's hunting. However, he can't actually move his eyes around in this socket like you and I. We can look up, down, all around. He can't do this, so the only way he's going to be able to look around is by moving his head. Now he needs to stay perfectly still when he's hunting so nothing sees him sitting high in that tree, but he can move his head around 270 degrees. Okay, and he's able to do this because of one extra vertebrae in
Alrighty guys, we're going to start with the big fellas down here. We will come back to the little ones in a moment. Hi. Alrighty guys, just keep coming down this way. We'll come back to those little ones. Heads up. I didn't actually want fish. Had to.
If I have 5 or 6 of you come with me, we're going to go downstairs so everyone gets to see properly. Can I have 5 or 6 of you guys? You can go with me.
You're going to have 5, we're going to have 50 or 60.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
If you guys want to sit up here? Alrighty guys, so welcome to the ultimate of Australian animals. Now this is the absolutely stunning, gorgeous, sexy estuarine crocodile. Now I know it's a little bit odd calling it sexy, but these guys are a phenomenal animal. Beautiful size, incredible, powerful animals, and totally misunderstood. Now this is, we call it the estuarine crocodile, however it's more commonly known as a saltwater crocodile or salty. When we keep calling an animal a saltwater crocodile, where do you think most people expect to find it? In the oceans, indeed. But in fact, 70 to 80% of the species is actually found in fresh or brackish water. So your river mouths and things like that. Oh, it's going to look like Stelly's teasing him, but that's not the case. This is a normal, natural behaviour for these guys. And what we're going to do, hopefully if he's playing the game, is he's going to leap for this food. Now, what they do in the wild, they'll actually do this with their tail. Now, it's one big muscle starting from the back of the neck going down to the tip of the tail, and it's basically half their body length. In deep enough water, well, his water was a little bit deeper, he could easily get himself up to this height. So they can get up to 2/3 of their body out of the water. They'll do this to get things like birds, bats, wallabies, anything like that that are in the trees overhanging the riverways. Now, we do this in captivity to actually give them a bit of exercise. It is very easy for a captive animal to get overweight, and an animal like a crocodile, if it doesn't keep that exercise, it's going to end up with conditions like fatty liver, and that can be fatal. So we want to keep these guys in ultimate condition, and it's also very fun for us to do. Now, you'll notice on his head here, he's got his eyes, his ears are those slits just behind his eyes, and his nostril or nasal disc is right on top of his head. So he can put less than 5% of his body out of the water. He can see, hear and smell everything that's going on. Now even when he's underwater, he's got a third eyelid that comes across his eyelid of his eyes to protect his eyes. We believe he can see a little bit under that, but because they like quite murky water, their vision underwater is not. They are deemed to be an opportunistic ambush predator. So what that means is they will eat whenever the opportunity presents itself, and they will eat whatever's available. When Sultan was young, he would have been eating things like insects, small fish, crustaceans. Big fella like Sultan now, he could take down anything from a kangaroo, a bison, a tourist. You know, he doesn't care. Now we joke around about tourists being eaten. Don't stress. Like, there are people here in Cairns that'll say this crocodile's in plague proportion, they're a menace, they need to be removed. Not the case. These guys are not back to pre-hunting era in the East Coast. So when we used to hunt them back in the 1940s, their numbers declined rapidly, and we're not back to those numbers yet. Your most dangerous time if you are going to be stupid enough to swim with one of these guys is when you are swimming at night. They are a nocturnal predator. That's when they're most active. Unfortunately, so many of the crocodile attacks that happen actually involved either alcohol or people going into known crocodile areas. The latest one was actually in Adelaide River in the Northern Territories. A local, it is normally the locals that get taken, he was fishing with his wife on the riverbank. His lure got hooked, and even though he knew in Adelaide River, they have a density of these guys that caught about 1 to 2 every kilometre of water. Now, if you swim in the Adelaide River, you have got 100% chance of being taken by a crocodile. Now, despite knowing this knowledge, that guy must have been using his luckiest lure because he decided he was going to walk into that river to unsnag his sunburn along his back, and that is permanent scarring now, so he'll live with that for the rest of his life. But he's a cutie. But this one, he's our favourite boy. This is Elvis, and yes, he does live with his girlfriend Priscilla. And he lives in salt water as well. They are one of the true crocodilian species, so there's 14 true crocodilian species. Individuals, fairly even ratio males to females. Now you would have noticed with the saltwater crocodiles and estuarines that it was one male, one female. These guys are a lot more sociable. They tend to actually hang out with each other a lot more harmonious. They don't bring down that big prey. Largest one of these guys that bring down, you may bring down a wallaby. For all crocodilian species, their head is basically the same size as their stomach. So to give you an idea of how much food. They are ectothermic animals, old-fashioned term, cold-blooded. Where's Charlie? Now, what that means is they don't need to eat a lot of food. For this species here, when we basically get in our colder months, and yes, we do have colder months here in Cairns, we get below about. I believe he's up in the tablelands at the moment. Now, moving on from these guys, we're going to move on to an even more dangerous animal here. And that is our...
What hand, Joe?
It doesn't bite. What does it do? It just eats.
Here.
I did. I'm trying to wake up. Can I have my light?
Probably because it's all the
Can I
people
have
there.
my light?
Try and find a different one.
You choose a lot.
Okay, let's stop. Do you have food, sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, let's stop. But I don't have you stop. You can maybe ask. You can ask them.
There you go.
Some with the flash on and some without.
Cindy,
What?
give us a little light.
Oh, okay. We've got quite a few, I think.
Great, thank you. Here, lady.
Nope.
Oh, no? Not too hungry?
There? Like that?
Yeah, just something.
He's more interested in watching stuff, I guess. One little piece. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Can we go and get more food?
Like it? No?
Did you like your leftovers?
I know, I got fruit.
Careful.
No? Be that way.
Probably got about 20, 30.
Yeah. Here's spoil one.
I don't have anything anymore.
Oh, you only get, I just want to be a help with this if you have a reaction. Otherwise, it's, you know, spit it today.
Give up. He doesn't want it. skip.
Yeah.
He got pretty big before he choked on it.
How long would I be?
The big one is that.
Yogaで立って写真撮る見るのはすごいです。みんな全員知らないね、その年たち始まったらみんな真似する。
Yeah, and the cow's got.
Actually, I did.
She's about 3 years old. About the same size of a.
We're at a party. What do you say? What do you say? Well, if you don't want to be licky-die, why don't you give it a try? Hey, look him right in the eye and say, g'day, g'day. Well, how you going? Now, what do you know? What's right, guys? G'day. There you go, Owen. G'day. Be right.